With this proof, we go to Albany.
All right.
With this proof, we seek to change the tide of disenchantment in the school district of Hempstead. And we've asked the commissioner to, one, invalidate the election of respondent Betty Cross, and we named her. We made sure she's a party to this action.
Right.
In the Hempstead School Board election on May 20th, 2014. In the alternative, interim relief, permitting an invalidation of respondent Cross's election results pending the outcome of this application, and that Betty Cross's use of absentee ballots is in violation of state law, rules, and regulations. And third, a determination by the Commissioner of Education, and we are saying this loud and clear, Mr. Commissioner of Education, stand up and call it what it is.
All right.
A determination that respondents Cross, Wright, and or members of respondent Cross's campaign team engaged in voter fraud, voter intimidation during the entire Hempstead School Board election. This is now a public record, and we have copies for you in the press, because at this point there's no longer going to be any theft. Get your hand out of my pocket.
All right.
Amen.
Now, all right.
Joe, questions?
Yeah, a few questions. So you had said you were asking the commissioner to invalidate Cross's election, right?
That's right.
Okay.
If you look on page 42 of the document that you have, it's there for you in writing.
Okay. The second one I was a little confused by. You said, or in the interim relief. Could you explain the interim relief part to me?
There's going to be a time period between now and the time that a final determination is made by the commissioner,
Which could be several months.
which could be several months. In the meantime, a lot of harm can take place. A lot of things can be hidden, and a lot of things can be taken. We want the commissioner to make a determination that in the meantime, Betty Cross, you're not in that seat.
Right.
Yes.
That seat remains vacant
That's right.
until the time that he and the parties that are making the evaluation, his legal team, evaluates this evidence and comes to the ultimate conclusion that they can only come to, is that there was voter fraud in this situation and that this election was stolen.
How
Right.
can Commissioner King make decisions like that when apparently the DA's office has in their possession the voting materials? Is it possible for him to really go forward and make this decision while that's the case?
There is more than enough evidence, because I want to be really clear. Our claim doesn't surround around whether or not people are enrolled as voters. The issue here is that they took absentee ballots to people who didn't have a right to an absentee ballot, over 400 of them, and got those people to sign when they were able to go down and vote themselves, and then they brought them in truckloads for their own purpose. One of the things that's part of this package, and that's also part of this document, and I hope that you will take the time to read it, and I know you guys have a busy schedule, but if you just go to the very beginning where it says introduction, it talks about something which is unusual for the commissioner. We have included a statistical analysis by a mathematician from Hofstra about the level of inconsistency as you compare the regular votes to the absentee votes. And when you look at the absentee votes, it's something that's called an outliner. And this clearly indicates that the use of these absentee ballots and the way that it took place did not match the norm as it happened within the actual voting pattern. Because if you just deal with what happened with the machines, Betty Cross didn't even come in third. She came in fifth. She jumps to second by increasing her number with absentee ballots, and she takes over 85% of the absentee ballots. When you look at these numbers, and let me point it to you, point to you right here in this document. We talk about Dr. David Sessions from Hofstra, who does an evaluation, and his evaluation makes the determination that there are deep problems. And his quote is, That, in other words, the very extreme observation, which is apparent in this outlier, is demonstrated by the numbers when you compare these absentee ballots to the real ballots. Because these absentee ballots are fictions, and they were created fictionally by Betty Cross, and they are in themselves.
Can you tell me, I know of course you're filing this petition, and is it correct to call it a petition rather than a complaint?
It's a petition, and it's actually a petition. The District Attorney's Office is an independent organization. We have no control over them. But one of the things that we understand is that they have been looking very carefully at this. And in my estimation, we don't need to make that call. We just need to wait to hear chink chink.
Right. The County Board of Elections, is there...
The County Board of Elections has no place in this from any real standpoint. They are the custodian of certain electoral records, but the district runs campaigns on their own. And that's exactly why this is like a boomerang, and it's coming right back to hit them. Because what they did was they allowed the running of a crooked campaign, thinking they were going to get away with it like they did before. I mean, they took an election from Tammy Mitchell years ago. So one of the things we were clear about, and I'll just tell you, you don't get 25 affidavits when something's right. You get 25 affidavits when something is heck wrong. And people stood up. People from this community stood up and said, I'm willing to speak out against this. And that's what this book is. This whole book is affidavits. People who are swearing under oath that they came to my door and said, you don't have to vote today. You don't have to go down there. Just sign right here, and I'll take care of it for you. Well, listen, we get ready to take care of them.
All right.
I will tell you, too, that in my research, and if you look online at the State Board of Education, that it basically says that in most cases, King will come down on the side of the school district because of this desire for local control. Do you feel like the evidence you're presenting is so compelling that...
I just love smart reporters because you did your homework. And one of the good things, I knew somebody was going to have looked online because the internet is a dangerous thing. Look in your packet and tell me what's the second thing in your packet, please. Not the little packet. No, anybody else that's got a packet. The little packet. The small packet. What's the second thing that's in here? What's that right there? Read the top of that caption. What does it say?
The petitioner challenge.
No, at the very top. Very top. What does it say?
Okay. Appeal of the Weller Library Commission?
Weller Library Commission. I gave you case law that when you compare that case, I'm trying to make sure that you report this and you tell the public how good we've worked together. When you take a look at that case, that the commissioner made a determination in, I think it's 2003 or 2001. Okay, 2003. And look at the facts of that case, they pale in comparison to what we've been putting on the table. This is not, and Sergio Guerta said it, this is an indictment. And I am telling them, bring it. Because in this situation, we got the goods. Because what you did was you stuck your hand in the cookie jar and you left it there. And we're going to chop it off.
All right.
All right.
Other cases in school board elections where King, or not King, but someone else went in and switched the results. I heard there was maybe one or two, and I'm trying to do my own research.
Yes, if you would go to the second page of that document that I was just turning to you, if you turn to the second page, and you will see in the middle of that page, you see a block of things that are underlined.
Right.
Those are cases. I think there are 13 or 14 other cases that relate directly to other types of cases, including school boards, that are supported and are supportive of the Weller case. So when you look at that, even though you've seen that the commissioner normally does come down, people don't go to the commissioner, and I'll just say this, we don't think the commissioner's seen a petition like this in recent years, and certainly not in years where I've been doing this work. So we've given the commissioner what the commissioner needs to do the right thing. Anybody else?
Did you file this today, by the way?
This is being filed right now. Yes, sir. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
Can you just describe what we're seeing in these pictures here in the handout?
Surely. On the pictures that you have, and you hold them up so everybody can see that we can all be on the same page, literally. That is a picture of a van which is, I understand, a van with Betty Cross paraphernalia on it, parking up near the or past the 100-foot marker, but also delivering students from the high school to vote during school day. And I will tell you that we have proof that no students were given or allowed or provided parental consent slips to leave school on a closed campus. Something's wrong. And when the people that did that are not only employees, but also directly linked to Ms. Cross, and that happened, and I will tell you, we have proof that Ms. Cross asked people to use school funds to rent a bus to take seniors to go vote, and they refused, thank goodness for that. But what has happened here is that the proof is in the pictures. The next picture with the BMW there, with the license plate that's clearly marked, is a BMW where Tina Lake's daughter is getting out, and Tina Lake is in that picture with a white shirt, with a big picture of Betty Cross on her chest.
That's right.
And they are bringing high school students to vote in private cars during the day from their school day. Caught.
Yes.
Caught.
But Fred, is that illegal?
Yes, it is.
Sure.
They're 18.
They're 18, but in order to leave the closed campus, you must first get the permission of the principal and or have the permission of a parent in writing. Didn't happen.
Is that a state law?
It's not only a state law. One of the things we gave to the commissioner, you don't have it, is their internal rules. Their own rules say it's a closed campus. Their own rules say that in order for you to leave this campus, you've got to have A, B, and C. It didn't happen. And when it was told to Betty Cross that a bus would not be purchased and that individuals should not take the students out, you know what happened? Instead of saying, oh yeah, Betty Cross asked the person for $50 for gas money to help get the students out of college.
That's what I said.
Other questions?
We are good.
Okay, we're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.